You're listening to the Behind the Booth podcast with DJ iSizzle, where music, weddings, and unforgettable stories come to life. And now your host, DJ iSizzle.
All right, welcome to Behind the Booth with me, DJ iSizzle. We're going to talk about music, weddings, and unforgettable moments that come to life. So I'm your host, DJ iSizzle, and today is the first episode, and I want to take you behind the booth and share some stories of like how I got started, what drives me, and why I love weddings and school dances and events and all across the Northwest. It's one of my favorite places to live. I've lived here pretty much my whole life, and something about the people, the places, I don't know, the weather, everything here is just great for me. And I absolutely love the Northwest. So by the end of this episode, you'll know exactly who I am, what makes me and my style different, and why I believe music has the power to transform any night into something unforgettable. All right, so let's get started. I got a few segments here I want to get into. Segment number one is, we're going to call it the mic check moment.
Mic check moment. Let's go, DJ iSizzle.
So let me kick things off with this thought. Music is the one thing that connects everyone in the room. Doesn't matter if it's a wedding, a school dance, or a family reunion. The right song at the right time can turn strangers into a crowd, and that's the magic I chase every single night. And that's why I became a DJ. For me, it's not about pressing the play button, although it is really fun. I've tried to have like guests come up and be like, "Hey, you want to press the button right now?" And they're always like, "I'm good." So I don't know. Maybe it is a little bit more difficult to press a button at the right time. But for me, it's more about creating a shared moment, and that's where everybody feels a part of something bigger. And music is just something that just connects us all together, and something that we can all celebrate together, whether it be a wedding or a special event or you know, a national night out, some sort of event. Music just has the power to just bring people together. And I love how music is something that just makes you feel good. It makes you want to forget everything that maybe something bad has been going on in your life. So I guess that's one of the real reasons I became a DJ, is just because I can create some pretty amazing escapism with music and mixes and just creating moments. And a lot of it is nostalgia too. I mean, just being able to be transported to when you were a kid and you haven't heard a song in 10, 15 years. I think that's something that really is a big reason of why I do what I do. All right, well, let's move on to the next segment here. This segment, number 2, we're going to call this one Dance Floor Diaries.
Dance Floor Diaries. Tell us more, DJ iSizzle.
We're going to start back on some of the early weddings, those days when I was just getting started. Maybe technology isn't as good as it is today. So one of the first weddings I did, I remember just kind of standing behind the booth and going, "Yeah, I know exactly what I'm doing." And I practiced before. I set up some playlists and I practiced, but something I've learned is that like as much practice as you do, there's something about a live event where everything will just completely go different than you believe it will in your head when you're preparing for it. So that's something big I've learned, is like, just be ready for the unexpected and just go with it. Because a lot of times when you just go with the unexpected, it becomes something special and something memorable, versus like trying to make everything perfect the whole night long. It's like, well, you really don't have time to like have something fun happen. So one of the first weddings I ever did, I was so nervous. I was like I didn't know any questions to ask the couple. I didn't know anything. I mean, I've been doing this now for about, I'd say 10 years, 7 to 10 years, somewhere in there. Like professionally, probably 7 years, but I had done a few weddings when I was like super young as well. Um, so the bride came up to me and she's like, "Hey, like, please just keep people dancing. That's all I want." And I was like, "All right, I'll do my best." And As a wedding DJ, it's pretty easy to get people going for the first 20, 30 minutes, but then keeping a good core of the audience on the floor or moving generations around, because sometimes like older generations, they want to dance to a slow song with their partner or their husband or wife, and then they want to sit down and just kind of watch everybody else dance. Maybe they'll go get another drink, but for the most part, like, you kind of want to play to the majority of the people in the crowd, and most of the time that's people that are going to be in their 20s, and they're gonna be the ones that are gonna wanna party for the longest. So, sometimes, as a wedding DJ, you have to cater to whoever the majority is that night or at that wedding. So that's something I always ask couples now, like beforehand. I'm like, who am I playing for? Am I playing for your aunts and uncles? Am I playing for your grandparents? Am I playing for you guys? Are you guys going to be dancing, or do you guys not even like to dance, but your cousins or your relatives love to dance and you want to have a DJ for them to enjoy the night? So a lot of those questions I ask up front now, because back in the day I didn't know anything about that. And boy, if you don't understand timing, like, this is a big experience that I've learned along the way now. Like since 2021, somewhere mid around there, like July of 2021, like I started picking up more weddings. And then now where we are in 2025, I mean, I've DJed over 200 weddings in the last 4 years. And like, I've DJed weddings everywhere from like Washington State, Oregon State, all the way down to California, like San Diego, Los Angeles, Santa Monica, like all the way up to Portland, Hillsboro, like all over the place. Like, and something I've learned is that like every couple is different. And like from that first couple weddings I did where I was like, oh God, I didn't prepare. I don't have enough songs ready. I don't have my crates to say like, go to these songs if the crowd is this age. Go to these songs if the crowd is this age. Did you talk to the bride and groom beforehand? Did you get a playlist from them? Like, what are their favorite songs? Like, these are questions you have to ask, like, as a wedding DJ, if you want to be great. Like, because if not, you're going to be in those moments where, like, I don't know what to play. I don't know what to play. So I will create playlists beforehand, and I will create them based on energy. I'll also make like little notes on the songs to be like, hey, this is a really good one. I'll do special edits now because like back in the day I used to play I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston, and like it wouldn't get a great reaction. I'm like, why is this song not hitting? This is like on everybody's playlist. And what I found is that it was starting off with the first verse versus the hook. So it was like her like talking about the night changing, and it was about 45 seconds of this. And like, if you're a young kid that didn't grow up in the 80s or the 90s, you wouldn't even know this song unless you heard it like on a TikTok or some sort of short. And the only part you would probably know is the hook that's like, I want to dance with somebody. So what I did is I went in there and I made a special edit where it's the hook first, goes right into it. I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat with somebody. So what you have to do is you have to like do special edits based on experience. And over the years, man, I'll like look for new remixes, new mixes, and just find the best moments in those songs, bring them in and then bring them out if you have to. Some crowds, they like full songs. I mean, that's the truth. But for the majority of people that I play to, you don't want to play a full song all the way through, especially if it's 5 minutes long. And we want to just party and we want to crank the energy up. Not going to happen. I mean, that 5 minutes, unless it's like Daft Punk's Around the World and it's, or not Around the World, but One More Time, and you're just trying to like slowly build some energy with people, or you've just been mixing really fast, you want to kind of slow the mood down a little bit, let people kind of cool off for a second, go outside, maybe grab another drink, go to the bathroom, whatever you got to do, and then you come back in and you're like, oh yeah, this song's great. And then you just want to kind of like slowly move the energy around in a night, because trying to play 110% like the whole night with energy is just too much for people. You gotta bring it up, you gotta bring it down. Excuse me. And when you do that, you fluctuate the mood and the energy, and you also want to rotate people around on the dance floor, because you don't want everybody on the dance floor the full night. Like sometimes like you want to play some other music that the groom requested, that maybe like him and his homies, like his buddies, they love. So you want to play like a good like 7 to 10 minute mix of those songs. And then you can fluctuate back into some old stuff, or you can, you know, just keep moving it around, whatever works. But yeah, you always want to kind of fluctuate a dance floor. You never want to just play one genre the whole night unless that's actually requested by the couple. So For the most part, being an open format DJ, you really do need to research and you need to educate yourself on all genres from all eras. So, let me see here. I guess that kind of answers the dance floor diary segment. Let's go ahead and go on to segment number 3. And this is the party pro tip.
The party pro tip. Tell us some tips, DJ iSizzle.
So, if you're a couple and you're watching and you want your dance floor to be full, here's the number one tip, like I would say, is like set the tone with your grand entrance. The last couple of weddings that I've done, the couples have chose "Crazy in Love" by Beyonce featuring Jay-Z, and that has a great intro, like a phenomenal intro. But it's also a party song. It's also nostalgic. It's 2000s. It's fun. It's upbeat. I play that song a lot of times on a dance floor, and it goes off really well. So to use that as your entrance song is like really fun. It lets people know like, hey, we're gonna party tonight. It's gonna be a fun night, and it always is. Anytime the couple uses "Crazy in Love" for some reason, it's always a party. So that's something I would say is like really choose your grand entrance song well, and make sure that it's like got a lot of energy and it's gonna kind of predict what's gonna happen later in the night. And I think also coming in smiling, maybe dancing a little bit, like guests love that, man. They'll get into it with you. And like me, when I introduce a couple, Mr. and Mrs., like, let's have everybody stand up. Let's everybody like put our hands together. Let's start making some noise. Let's make sure they can hear us in another state, another county. Let me help, like, please help me welcome Mr. and Mrs., and then you bring them in, you drop the song. Sometimes I'll let the song play a little bit longer than I probably should, but people are kind of dancing and grooving, and like you want to set the tone for a little bit later in the night. So that's something I would say when you're kind of planning your wedding and everything. Really think about the intro song because it's really fun for the guests as well. All right, let's get into segment number 4. We're gonna call this segment Request Roulette.
Request roulette. Do you take requests, DJ iSizzle?
So a lot of the times, like I will always have a wedding outline that I will have bride and groom. I'll have them fill out. I'll say, hey, do you want requests? Do you not want requests from your guests? What kind of vibe do you want? Do you want me just to take your playlist and mix it down all night and get everybody turned up? Like, what are you looking for? So a lot of times couples are fine with requests, but they will say like, use your judgment. So one time, um, one time a guest came up and I get some wild requests, like songs I've never heard of, sometimes songs I've heard of. They said, hey, play the Gilligan's Island theme, or no, it wasn't Gilligan's Island. It was the Golden Girls theme. They said, hey, play the Golden Girls theme. Everybody here, all the bridesmaids, the bride, we love this song. Like, can you play it like later in the night, when everybody's dancing? I said, sure, I'll give it a go. I'll figure out how to work it in. Recently, they asked for the Scat Man. The couple was like, don't do any requests from guests. I think it was with the auntie of the groom or somebody, she requested, she said, this song's really special to us. I said, okay, I'll mix it in. I'm not supposed to take requests, but I'll mix it in, somehow. Hey, there's always a moment to work a song in. And that's what I always say. Like, if it's a family favorite and people want to hear it, you can always mix in a song. Like, maybe it's cake cutting. After cake cutting, everybody's having their cake. Say, hey, we got a special request. Drop it in there. Like we're here to make sure everybody has a great time. And the more fun everybody else has, like the guests tend to like help the couple more out later in other ways that you wouldn't expect. So yeah, a lot of the times, even if they don't say they don't want requests, if it's in the playlist, I'll play it. I'll figure out a way to work it in, whether it be 30 seconds of a song. You don't have to play the full 5 minutes if it's a 5-minute song. But if it's do not plays, like they don't want YMCA, don't play it. Do not play it at all. So these are some things. And I'll always ask that on the outline as well. Like, hey, if you accept requests, are you okay with some of the do not plays that you have on the list? And a lot of times couples will be like, yeah, that's fine. Within your judgment, I don't care. You're the DJ, do your thing. So, and then sometimes I'll get like last minute requests and I'll be like, man, I've only got like 2 minutes left. I said, hang on, let me do this for you. And they're like, hey, can you play Sweet Caroline? And I'm like, sure. My experience with that song is don't play anything but the hook and the last part of the hook because it's kind of a slow build and it builds and it builds. And like, if it's a hot dance floor, you just want the crowd to be like, Sweet Caroline, bop, 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 and you want them to sing and then you're out. Like, just keep it simple. No reason to keep it around much longer than a minute, just the hook. If you want to build it back, second hook, totally cool. But again, it's kind of like if it's a hot dance floor and people want to keep dancing, man, like just play a little bit of the song and then move it around. So that's what I try to do as far as keeping the energy up. But yeah, it went off really well, and everybody was singing it. They had a great time. After it went out, I said, "Hey, help me, everybody sing this song, top of your lungs. Let's go." Sing it. Goes out. You say, "All right, man, great job, guys," and then you move on to the next song, and you keep the party going. So, all right, let's move on to the next segment. It is called my track of the episode, and this is the song that has been working for years. It continually works, and it's not Uptown Funk, but it is Usher's Yeah. So I started playing Yeah, the long version, when I first started DJing, and it went really well. And then I started saying, how can I really bring this song in better? So then what I started to do is I let a song fade out and I say, hey, if we're having a good time tonight, we celebrating the bride and groom, let me hear you say, yeah. And then people go, yeah. And I said, if we're having a good time tonight, let me hear you say, yeah. And they go, yeah. And you get, about 80 people saying yeah at the same time, brings everybody in. And then you drop the song and it goes, doo, 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 doo. And comes in, everybody's like, yeah. And then you hear Little John going, yeah. And then it works really well. So, but recently I've been mixing Turn Down for What into Yeah, into Get Low. And it has been going phenomenal this year. So the last few years I've been doing just Yeah, and I was playing the song and it's good and it works, but I find that Yeah gets a little longer than it should at certain points. So I found that if you can work those three songs together, they're kind of Little John classics, and Little John gets a lot of respect when it comes to like weddings and parties. So if you can mix those three together and then you can get out at a certain point, I've even changed Get Low. Instead of the first verse, I move it into the windows to the wall, change it over there, and get people really interactive. It kind of like I have multiple mixes of all songs. It really just depends on the matter, like what time of the night it is, as well as like, does your crowd want like a faster mix, or do they want to dance a full 5 minutes to a song, or 3 minutes, or 4 minutes, or do they only want like a minute and a half and then get out and go to the next song, please? So it just kind of depends on all those different factors of what time of the night it is and your crowd. So yes, so Yeah is my track of this episode. I recommend you go listen to it. I recommend you have some fun with it. So we're also for this particular podcast, this being the first episode, I thought it'd be fun to incorporate this next segment, and this next segment is called Spotlight Shoutout.
Spotlight Shoutout. Who is the best in the Northwest DJ iSizzle?
Before I wrap it all up, I want to give a special shout out to one of the venues that always brings the magic. And this is one of my favorite venues that I DJ at. It's located in Maple Valley. It's called Thunder Ridge. The owner's name is Scott, and his wife, I believe, is Shelly. And I highly recommend this venue. If you've got a crowd between, I would say, 50 to 70 people, perfect venue for you. They're really cool there. I've never had any issues with sound. They're always like, bring it in, turn it up, let's party. Um, it's a cool, like, it's an actual converted venue as well. You can check it out on their website. I don't want to go too in depth with it because I know the history, but I don't know the history as well as I could. But yeah, I highly recommend this venue. They're really great. Like, their customer service, and they really care about brides, and they really care about the grooms. And it's just ultimately just a really cool venue. It feels very like private and very personal. So if you're looking for that kind of venue, I highly recommend Thunder Ridge. You can check them out. I believe they have a website, Instagram. You can check them out on Google. You can check out all their reviews. I left them a really nice 5-star review because I've been there 3 or 4 times now, and every time I'm there, they always come out and greet me, and they're like, "Hey, Sizzle, it's good to see you. Do you need any help with the gear?" And I'm always like, "No, I have my assistant. I have Pepsi with me." So we got it, and it's always an easy load in. They always come up. They always ask how I've been doing. I'm always excited when I get hired to go back there. So, but yeah, it's a great venue. I highly recommend it. All right. So yeah, I guess let's wrap things up. I just want to say, thank you for, joining me on this episode. I hope to do a lot more of these episodes. It's something that I feel like I've been wanting to do, but it's just one of those things where like the timing wasn't quite right. And then finally the timing is right. We got moved into this new studio here. I'm super pumped about it. You can see my hat back there, my trademark hat. You can see my board right here. This is my lighting setup as well as my laptop that I use as well for when I do weddings and different events. So this is the ultimate celebration package right here. So I have other packages as well. You can check those out on the website, djissizzle.com. And you can see I always wear a really nice coat, slacks, nice button up. Oh yeah, and shout out to Gemma Magazine. They're doing another article on me this fall, and I'm super pumped about it. We're talking everything about like style, like evolution, and like how when I first started DJing, I was just wearing t-shirts and a baseball cap like I am right now, but how I've continually evolved into a different style. Like when I first started doing weddings again in 2021 after COVID and everything, I was wearing just a straight black suit, white button up and a tie, with a top hat, but it was more of a fedora top hat. And now it's like I'll go out, I'll mix and match all my different colors. I'll wear a little bit more of like a brighter shirt and a nicer tie. I've gotten more ties now over the last year or so. I've just really been trying to like distinguish myself more as a DJ, as a wedding DJ, and an event DJ as well. But the primary focus is on weddings. I love doing weddings, and it's really just it's such a passion of mine. And any way I can help with a wedding, just with the experience that I have and any knowledge I can share. And that's another reason why I'm doing this podcast as well. And just be able to share a lot of this knowledge that I've acquired in the last, few years doing weddings. So, with that said, I hope that you did get to know me a little bit better. And I can't wait to share more stories, tips, and just energy about like dance floors and being a DJ. And also another big thing about being a DJ that I don't I don't know if a lot of other DJs are the same way as me, but I hope they are. And that's just being grateful to be able to play music for people, being grateful to work at weddings, to go to these beautiful venues, to, um, work with such amazing couples out here in the Northwest. Like it's really just an honor. It's a blessing. It's really something that I pretty much just kind of fell into as far as becoming a DJ. I'll share that on some upcoming episodes. As well as I'm going to have some guests coming on, some different vendors from around the Northwest. I got some friends down in Florida. I did a documentary about Elvis some years ago. I won a nice award for it. I want to share some stories from my past as well as just what I was kind of doing outside of DJing before I went back into DJing full time because I basically got pulled back into it. It wasn't something that I was really like, I was just like, I got to do this 110%. It was just like, hey, can you DJ our wedding? Yeah, sure. Hey, can you DJ our wedding? I hear you DJ weddings. Can you DJ our wedding? And it was just like, it became like just kind of a snowball effect. And it's something that I just feel very blessed and thankful to be a part of and to be able to add such joy and just add another element to a wedding is really something that I'm just grateful for. So, yeah. Until the next time, I guess keep the music loud, the energy high, and let's keep the dance floor alive. Thank you so much. I will see you on the next one. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Behind the Booth podcast hosted by DJ iSizzle. Remember to keep the music loud, the energy high, and your memories unforgettable. See you next time.